Oh, Sadie Sink is
Oh,
here.
hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I was just sitting around here and I was thinking to myself, what's Sadie Sink been up to? Because you've had quite a year that included a little independent show called Stranger Things
Mm.
and then an independent film called The Whale, both of which are very, very popular at the moment. How have you been enjoying this ride?
Uh, yeah, it's kind of been a whirlwind of a year. Um, and I think I just reached a lot of cool milestones. But it's been really fun. It's a little chaotic, but with a show like Stranger Things and then with The Whale, I really enjoyed my time on both of them. So, you know, traveling around and talking about it makes me very happy. So, yeah.
Who has been, well, I guess describe these three directors. You have, the Duffer Brothers, then you have Darren Aronofsky, and then you also worked with Taylor Swift. So you've been directed by quite a few different people here.
I've got a good lineup.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you set a standard for yourself. What was it like, and what's the difference between those three entities?
Oh, wow. I mean, those three projects were very, very different. Stranger Things is it's very fast paced. There's lots of visual effects and everything like that. And this is also our fourth season. So certain parts of it, you kind of feel like there's like a certain formula that we've really mastered and we're sticking to it. And then with All Too Well with Taylor Swift, that was something that it was just kind of thrown together. And she reached out to my team and
Wait, she pitched
yes.
to you?
Yes, I didn't know her. I was a huge fan, but she reached out to my team and I remember not thinking that it was her. Like I really needed to check that like her it wasn't someone trying to scam
Yeah.
me or something. But it was her and she pitched me the idea for All Too Well. And I was like, why me? But that was like a 4-day shoot and I don't think I'd ever done a project that was so like there was no script. You could kind of just do whatever you wanted. So it was like, a 4-day acting like workshop or something. You just kind of got to improvise a bit. And then with The Whale, that was like so focused and with someone like Darren, every last movement, it's all calculated, everything's so intentional. And we had 3 weeks of just rehearsals to really nail down these characters and the blocking and Sam Hunter, who was the writer. Um, I mean, these characters are so complex. So I was really glad that like we had that time to really just break it all down. So yeah, and three very different projects, but that all happened within the last year. So yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
So we have to go back a second because hearing that Taylor Swift just reaches out to
Right.
you,
Yeah.
I mean, you're 20 years old, putting me to shame that when I was 20, I've done nothing with my life yet.
Oh, come
I can
on.
tell now because that is crazy. So you get that call, and at that point, it's last year that you get this call around that time. So what does that feel like for you? Because you obviously set out to become an actor, and you are an actor, but then when it starts blending over and crossing over into different entities of art, that Taylor Swift now is like, come, let me get you in something.
I never thought that there would be a world where that would happen for me. And I remember like when we heard that, Taylor Swift has an idea and she's going to pitch it to you, like be expecting a phone call. I was like, oh, like it'll just be like a little bit part and like a big ensemble.
And you knew you were going to say yes already
Or
by
something.
that
I was
point.
like, yeah, of course I would do it. But I thought it'd be really tiny. And then I think it was my brother who was like, oh, you know what? Like, what if like she's making like an All Too Well music video and like you're like the girl in it? And I was like, Mitchell, shut up. Like it's not happening. There's no way. But he was right. And yeah, she's someone that I was a huge fan of before. But it is interesting when like these industries kind of like blend into each other and I think she's a really, really good filmmaker and a very smart director. It was funny, I was watching like behind the scenes footage of that she sent over to me from when we were making it and she gets in her zone, like she knows what she wants and she's really quick too, like she doesn't overshoot or anything like that. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of see where she goes next with it.
Going out to the whale and the whale by the time people are listening to this and watching this, is out in theaters, limited, and then it's going to open wide. And it's a beautiful, harrowing story that is a difficult watch for a lot of people. And your character in the film, very different from Sadie Sink that I've met over the last few years. That is, she's tough. She's not saying you're not tough. She's like hardened and has a lot of anger that is built. And I guess we all have our own baggage. But how did you find her when, you were going to set and Darren was directing you?
I mean, I think when I read this part in the script for the first time, I never really thought she was unlikable because I'm just thinking about things from her perspective. And in her mind, all of this anger, this rage that she has, it's completely justified. And it all just comes from like a real place of pain. Her father left her when she was 8 years old to go start a new life, to be with his great love, and left her. And that hurt her. That pain had no other outlet. Sometimes violent words, violent actions, and it's become kind of this self-destructive coping mechanisms that you really see in each and every one of the characters in this film. But I think the important part for me and to Darren was to really just kind of, approach her with as much empathy as possible, because I think with a character like this, it is easy for her to, I think, fall into like the angsty teen trope. But she's so much more than that. She's kind of twisted, but also wicked smart and, I think capable of good things. But that's kind of like the big question at the end of it. Like is she good?
Is she good?
I know. But when my brother saw it for the first time at the premiere in New York, and he was really challenging me. He was like, your character is pure evil. And I was like, no, she's really hurt. Like, you just got to see it from her perspective. He's like, no, she's a dirtbag. And I was trying to sell him because I'm very defensive of her, but she is very, very trying.
Do you get nervous to show your films and TV shows to your family? Is that more nerve-wracking than fans?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I was definitely kind of nervous for them to see this because with Stranger Things, they know the character and they are huge fans of the show at this point. This was the first time I've really done something of this scale that's entirely separate from Stranger Things. And they had no idea what to expect or what it was really about. They just kind of showed up and watched it, and they were all crying at the end of it. So I took it as a success.
When Stranger Things Volume 2 was dropping, and we were all waiting very patiently to learn many of those questions, how much did your family know? Do you tell them a lot, or are you just afraid of just being that Tom Holland of Stranger Things that leaks things?
Yeah, I tell them everything. I honestly let a few of them read the scripts too, which is, I think it's fine. It's not going to go anywhere, and yeah, I don't feel bad about that. But no, they're very involved with what's going on in this season because, they're super fans. And luckily they, have someone who can give them a few hints as to what's going to be happening in the next season.
You'll let me read the script too, right? Like we're family too,
no,
right?
I think that crosses a line. Okay, I can't do that.
So let me just ask now, get this out of the way nice and early. It's what the people want. What can you tell us about Stranger Things 5 that obviously you know everything about?
Right. I know so much about it.
Do you get very nervous when the question comes? Or you're just like, okay, I have to remember that I just
honestly,
plant my feet.
Right now it's okay because I genuinely have nothing to spoil. So I'm like, no, I can't tell you anything. But I am very excited. I don't know what exactly they plan to do with my character, considering where we left off in season 4, but I'm anxiously awaiting answers to that.
We can talk spoilers here for a second.
Yeah.
So if you were writing an episode,
yes,
Netflix, if anyone's listening,
okay,
we can let you pen something. Where would you want to see Max go in this next season, or not go?
I feel like after everything Max went through, if she ever wakes up, then I think she would just flee. I think she's gonna get out of Hawkins. She's too smart to stay there, but she's also a very loyal friend. So who knows? It'll be conflicting.
Do you hope that you and Caleb end up together in the end?
Yeah, I think so. It's so I mean, they're really cute, aren't they?
Yeah,
And the little like note exchange, that was really sweet. I think we got to see something. There's definitely room to grow there.
When we thought Max was about to go out,
Which time?
Yeah, when she in the room when Caleb's just like,
that one.
His face is leaking with our faces. It was heartbreaking scene. Can you recall just like shooting that and just like, were you and Caleb actually in the same room when you were doing that?
Yeah, we were. I was levitating for a bit, and then when I come to the ground, I just remember like I had these contacts in because my eyes were supposed to be clouded, and I think my line was like, I can't see anything, and I genuinely I couldn't see anything, so I really couldn't make out any faces around me, and it was very dark. That's kind of the main thing I remember about that scene. But no, it's especially with someone like Caleb, who I've known since I was 14, and he's like family at this point, to have like a really sad, like spoiler, like death-ish kind of scene. It's very emotional, but also like really fun. And then we're like laughing and like making fun of each other afterwards.
What do you say to some of the fan theories regarding Max that Stranger Things are really afraid to commit to death? They're really afraid to commit to a main character. I mean, unless you're a B-line character, we just know you're out this season.
Right.
But with the main characters, they feel like that Stranger Things hasn't committed, and you were going to be a big commitment.
I almost fell victim. I didn't know this until like I read it in an interview, but I think Matt and Ross like were planning to kill me off, and that was in the like completely kill me off. And that was kind of in the original plan for the season, but then they did change it. What I do know is that the Duffers are very smart, they're very calculated, and they'd only choose to kill a character off if it was good for the plot or would come in handy later, and they'd only keep a character if it was going to serve the plot later as well. So everything is very calculated. They know what they're doing, but I understand. I think if Max did completely die, then it would have had a bigger impact for sure. But I'm personally happy she's still around.
Okay, good. Going back to The Whale now for a moment, you're working with some of the greatest actors in the game: Brendan Fraser, Samantha Morton, Hong Chow. Was there any intimidation? Any just like being nervous to go toe to toe with some of these?
Oh yeah, I was really nervous headed into this, especially just because, I mean, it's Darren Aronofsky and it's A24 and it's Brendan Fraser and it just was such a big project and I never done anything like it before, and also the character as well was just very confusing and I just really wanted to get it right, but I think immediately after just kind of doing rehearsals and stuff, it was very focused, very intense, and especially coming from, like a fun TV show, it was like nice to just have like 3 weeks of like very intense kind of boot camp like rehearsal. But I think that intimidation kind of like, or that the nerves slowly fizzled away, especially once I just got more comfortable with everyone I was working with. And there was a lot of trust between all of us, which is so important when you're having to be this vulnerable, this open.
When seeing this, we're calling it the Renaissance, this Renaissance take over Hollywood, take over the world, beloved figure. I know you have shared that you hadn't seen very many or any of Brendan's movies prior to, which is fine. You're 20. Cinematic blind spots exist. I hope you get to be dazzled over the Christmas break.
I still haven't gotten to be dazzled. I did watch School Ties, though.
Oh my God, what a one to start with.
I loved School Ties. That was the one Darren told me to start with, so I did, and that was wonderful. And then I watched George of the Jungle, too, because I hadn't seen it. Yeah.
So you haven't gotten any mummies yet?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to get there.
Yeah, eventually, yes.
But seeing this Brendan, I don't know how familiar you were with this story. He was a big star in the 90s and early 2000s, went away for a while, and now he's returning. And there's a lot of our revered actors that we always get not weary, but nervous for. We don't know how long we're going to have them, because sometimes Hollywood gets finished, at whatever moment. You started this industry very young. Do you ever I mean, as thinking of in a human sense, do you ever get nervous that like this adoration, this love that came for you this year, especially, that it's ever going to like fizzle out and then you're just waiting for like the shoe to drop, or are you just trying to focus on the work?
I guess I just focus on the work and not really pay attention to any of the other noise that comes with it. I think that's the only way to just keep moving forward. But yeah, it is, especially having like these kind of crazy my teenage years. I'm coming of age and I'm coming of age on a big TV show. It's not, there's parts of it that just aren't normal. And it is interesting to think, like, a while ago, I was really nervous. I was like, well, what happens when the show ends? Like, what's next? Who are we without this show? But what I am so grateful for Stranger Things for is just like allowing me kind of this platform to like continue to just get other opportunities to work on other projects. Like Darren saw me on Stranger Things and that's how he wanted me for this. Yeah, I mean, I'm young. I think I'm just really looking forward to pushing myself as an actor and just taking on new challenges. There's so many different types of genres and roles that I've yet to do. So I'm just excited to get more experience because I love doing this.
What's the role that you really want to do or a type of role that you would love to do that maybe you didn't think you were ready at one point, or you're like, maybe you're not ready for it yet and you would like to do something like that in the future? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I see like Brendan's transformation and stuff, and like maybe something like a transformation role would be cool. But probably later down the line or something. I'm interested to know like how long I'll still be able to play like a teenager or someone younger, and when I can kind of step out of that. But I think
Are you eager to step out of that?
I think so. I think
I'm an adult.
Yeah, I mean, you all. I still feel like a kid, but like you always kind of you want to play roles that just also kind of resonate with where you are in your own life, and I won't be a teenager forever. So yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to playing a little bit of, as I step into adulthood, more mature roles.
Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Very big chart topper again. I've always wanted to know, how much can Sadie Sink actually sing? And is there a future live performance of your interpretation?
Of Running Up That Hill? Oh, no, that would be so embarrassing. I mean, I can sing. I grew up like doing Broadway, like musical theater. That's where it all started. So I definitely still have that buried very deep.
Did you push it down? Or?
I pushed it down, yeah, but I don't know.
You can get very method about it and bring it back up and let it take you somewhere musically.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. If the right project comes along, maybe I would sing for something, but right now it's just my little hidden talent, my little secret.
You didn't sing with Taylor at all?
No, oh my God, no, that's so intimidating.
You didn't sing at all? Not even like a...
No. I'm very nervous with singing, so I don't like to sing a lot.
Okay, all right, I'll accept that.
Eventually, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll work on it.
I want to go back to a particular scene in The Whale that I want you to break down for me, and it's obviously the ending, which I didn't think was really open to interpretation. The movie version, that is. I think they say I've never seen the stage play, and they said it's a lot more concrete. Mm-hmm. But the end of The Whale seems to be what happens to Charlie in that scene and where your character goes. Did you have an interpretation that was different than? I'm walking a line of trying not to spoil The Whale, because we can't spoil The Whale. Yeah,
I mean, I think. Basically, Darren was describing it in a really brilliant way the other day, but Ellie's always like 5 steps ahead of everyone else in any kind of interaction. She's never really present. She's so much smarter than you. She's so much quicker than you. And in this last scene, she's kind of finally put into this corner. Charlie has her in a corner, and she's forced to kind of let all of her walls down. And for the first time in the film, you maybe get glimpses of it in earlier scenes, but really for the first time in the film, you get to see her true self, I think. And she's fully accepted the version of herself that Charlie sees so clearly that is in her. So I do think it's a hopeful message at the end. I think I think Ellie is capable of changing if that's what she wanted. But I guess it kind of is up for interpretation, how you interpret this character. Like, do you think Ellie truly is a good person, or is Charlie just kind of projecting the best version of his daughter that he wants to see? Is he lying to himself? But
is she, in Sadie's brother's words, a dirtbag?
Is she a dirtbag?
A dirtbag.
But that's what...
This is strong.
Strong description.
I felt it. Like, when you said it too, I was like, oh my God, dirtbag.
Dirtbag. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing that, like, every time I see this movie or a friend sees it, they bring a different opinion to it about the characters or hidden meanings, and that's why it's a fun one to watch. Well, not fun, like very emotional, but an interesting film to watch, because you can interpret it in so many different ways, and it gets you talking.
We are going to bring the TikTok trend of teenage dirtbag going.
The ultimate teenage dirtbag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a question regarding everything that happens in The Whale is 99% in one location in the apartment, because I'm including the porch as that 1%.
Yeah,
but it's still that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you film anything outside? Was there any other scenes that were filmed outside of the house that didn't make it in the final cut that were tried?
No, there was nothing. We stayed in that apartment. There was one like little shots on the beach, which I think are in the teaser trailer. Which that's my little sister, actually.
No way.
Yeah, that's my little sister. It was added like a year after we wrapped, and Darren was like, your little sister looks like you, right? And I'm like, yeah, she does. And he wanted to use her as like the young me in a flashback or
First
something.
rule of Hollywood, you say yes to everything.
Yeah, I was like, yes, she will be there. So I took my sister to the beach, and we did that scene.
How many of you are there, by the way?
There's so many. There's 5 of us in total. 3 older brothers, little sister.
3 boys older, and then the 2 little girls.
Yeah. But back to the apartment. I think it could have been so easy when taking it from a play to the screen to just add scenes and expand the world and go beyond the apartment. But we kept it there. Darren and Sam kept it in the apartment. And I think that's so important because it's such a huge part of who Charlie is. That's his entire world. And it was really fun kind of blocking every scene out, because we had to get creative with what space we were using so it didn't look repetitive. And I think for Ellie, the apartment is like her playground, and it was really fun just figuring out different bits and pieces. Like I love the one scene that she has with Thomas where she's never met this kid and she's welcoming him into the apartment that she does not own, and is making him a drink while also insulting his entire religion and everything that he believes in. So it was really fun to kind of get creative with stuff like that. But it also holds a lot of darkness for her as well, because it's ultimately that's the life that he left her for.
You are sitting with Variety, with the awards editor at Variety.
Yes.
And Clayton Davis was so hopeful that you were going to get an Emmy nomination for Stranger Things. And now we've arrived at Oscar time, where you are in the discussion for supporting actress nomination. Whether it happens or not, we all think and dream of that moment. We've all given the speech in the shower of like what we would say with the shampoo bottle. What does recognition like that, major recognition like that, because we also know a Tony could be coming down your way for a musical, which we'll get that. We'll get there. What does this recognition mean? You don't seek out to do it, but it feels good.
Yeah, for sure. I think I just never really thought that I would ever be in this discussion, really, and especially with the whole Stranger Things thing. I was really shocked when that specific episode 4, like in the Kate Bush song, I was really shocked that it was blowing up in the way that it was. But yeah, it's definitely a huge compliment, I guess, and I'm very unfamiliar with this side of the industry, so I'm kind of just rolling with the punches. And
it's a dark side. It's a worried side.
Yeah,
it's crazy. The last bit is always something I always think is important, because a lot of younger children look up to you, and even older people. Like I'm so impressed by you. I'm so impressed by what you're doing, and it's always I'm always curious to know what makes you tick cinematically, because what is the movie that brought Sadie Sink to Hollywood? What is your favorite movie? What is that thing that did it for you?
Oh, I think when I was younger, I strictly only watched movie musicals because I was very much in the musical theater world still.
We're coming back to this musical
I
thing.
know, it all goes back to that, but that's how it all began. So it's always going to lead to that road. But The Sound of Music was like my favorite thing ever. And I think it still is. And I mean, beyond that, I think that's number one. That's kind of I first saw that and I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be a Von Trapp kid or whatever. And then since then, as I've grown up and kind of like, not moved on from musical theater, but, ventured into other paths, there's just more performances that I'm inspired by, more careers that I'm inspired by. Cate Blanchett, I think, is like my ultimate idol. Like her role choices, everything. I really study her career.
Sadie Sink's Tar might be pretty amazing.
Okay, well, I am so excited to see that. That's like my most anticipated film.
Some good stuff. Does Sadie have a yearning, feeling to get into superhero land at all? I feel like everyone asks that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be fun. I never really pictured myself as a superhero, but if the right superhero comes along, then maybe so.
All right. Well, listen, again, we're big fans of you here and big fan of your career. Very, very impressed with everything. Congratulations on The Whale.
Thank you.
And All Too Well and Stranger Things and everything else. What are you working on next? Anything you want to plug for us?
Ooh.
Anything you want to break? What'd you get cast in?
My next, I'm not saying that yet, but my next project is, I've got to figure out what cookie I'm decorating for our annual Christmas cookie bake-off.
Such a cheap shot.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I need to start my Pinterest board. I got to figure it out. Yeah.
I'll accept it. Thank you, Sadie Sink.
Thank you.